Hello, my name is Luke Addison. I am a Rotaractor in the Rotaract Club of Winchester and a Rotarian in the Rotary Club of Winchester. I'm talking to you today about what I'm calling my Rotary story, giving you a little bit of background about how I became a Rotaractor and then how I became a dual member of Rotary and Rotaract. The purpose of this talk isn't just for me to shout about all the things that I've done and show a big load of lovely photographs, but instead just to really reinforce how important it is that Rotarians and Rotary clubs show support to Rotaractors as early on as from the point that they show interest, and continue to work with them as closely as they can. And this here will be an example of what nurturing a relationship of that sort can grow into. So let me just share my screen and see this. And let me just begin. So Rotaract for me started when I was at the University of Winchester. I was studying English and drama, hoping to become a drama teacher. So fortunately, I saw an advertisement for the Rotary Kids Out event that was being held by District 1110. It's an event where they would take young people from a special needs school to a theme park for the day. I signed up. And on the way back from the event on the bus, we were sat next to some Rotarians from the Winchester Rotary Club, and we said, what is this thing? What is this thing that you run? How often do you do it? And they said, oh, well, we're part of the Winchester Rotary Club and we do our own projects. This was a district project. If you're interested, please come along to our club and we can tell you a little bit more about it. So we agreed to go along. We were invited to a Winchester Rotary meeting. While we were there, we were told about all the wonderful things that the club does. And we were then invited to help them out some more on some events that they were running throughout the next few weeks. They then approached us and said, look, you're bringing about 10 people along, 10 students along to all of the events that we've been running. It's probably about time that you start your own Rotaract Club. Obviously, our response to that was, what is a Rotaract Club? They didn't tell us much, but they handed us a bunch of leaflets, booked us a stall at the University Freshers Fair, and we just had a clipboard. And we basically approached students at the fair and said, look, we're holding a meeting on Monday. We're not really sure what it's about, but come and find out with us. We had about 30 people join our first meeting, which was great. We were able to discuss Rotary a little bit more, talk about some of the key issues in the community of Winchester and further afield. And most of all, obviously make friends with new students that we never met, and start getting things rolling for this Rotaract Club, whatever it may be. We were asked by Winchester to help on their annual event, which is called the Clarendon Marathon. So we had lots of our members marshal all across the course, and at the end here to hand out medals and t-shirts. After helping the current president of the current president at the time, Nick Bell, they awarded us a small check for about £100 as a way of saying thank you for the work that we did. We had recently heard a talk from the Purple Community Fund founder, Jane Walker, about her work in the Philippines. And we thought it would be wonderful if we could invite Jane to the university to talk to our Rotaract Club, which she did. And we were able to present her with the check that we'd earned from the Clarendon at the end of her talk, which created a really nice little circle of working with Rotary to receive some funding to then put that money into something that we really believed in. It wasn't long before we wanted to start a project of our own. One of the members of our club unfortunately became homeless in Winchester. So we decided that the best thing to do alongside supporting him was to set up a project that would raise awareness and offer support to local homeless people in Winchester. We came up with a backpack project. We were featured in the local newspaper. We worked with the local homeless center. And we got a huge number of what we call street survival kits handed out, put together. I then attended a Rotary meeting a few weeks later, where a Rotarian stood up and showed this photo in a presentation he was delivering about Uganda. And he said, here we have the Rotaract Club of Kasese in Uganda. So Kasese is in the western part of Uganda on the border of the Congo. And it soon became apparent to us that there was this great group of young people on a completely different corner of the world doing a very similar work to us. It wasn't long before we were connected to the Rotaract, one of the Rotaract members at the time. His name was Farouk, and we agreed to partner our clubs together. We had an official partnership agreement. We twinned Kasese with Winchester, and that same year, a few months later, I was fortunate enough to go out to Uganda with the team, Education Uganda, meet Farouk, meet the Rotaract members, and get the ball rolling for a really, really fantastic friendship, international friendship. A few years later, we were able to welcome Farouk here for his first time in the UK, where we took him around London and took him to a peace conference in Winchester. Working with Farouk and several of the other Rotaract members of Kasese, we've set up a grassroots youth-led peace organization called the Great Lakes Peace Centre, which works with young people from across the bordering countries of Uganda, across the Great Lakes. And very recently, Farouk has gone on to become the president of a newly chartered Rotary Club, Rotary Club of Kasese Snow Peaks, which is a Rotary Club specifically for younger members. I then stepped down as president, and the presidency was given to a young lady called Chloe, who took over, and I was then elected as the district representative, the DRR, for District 1110. I was looking after Portsmouth, Bournemouth, Winchester, and Southampton, and we were having regular meetings. And for me, I was still very new to everything, but it was very interesting to see how Rotaract works on a district level as well as a local level. One of the first projects that I got involved in was partnering with Adrian Brewer on the Roll Out the Barrel project. And we were able to use some of our connections with the district and the Rotaract Club and the university to support Adrian. Somehow I managed to graduate and finish university and pass alongside all of this, which was great. That's my mum and my dad there, who were very proud of me on my graduation day. I decided it was now time to join Rotary. I went back to connect to the Rotaract Club of Winchester, who were miles ahead from where I'd left them, now running their own projects, running their own events completely independently. And I realized that it was probably now time that I look at joining the Rotary Club of Winchester, as well as staying a member of the Rotaract Club too. So I spoke to the members of Winchester, expressed my interest. They said they'd be very happy to have me. I said to them that I would like to have some real roles and responsibilities, not just to join as a young member, but instead as someone that really plays an important part in the club. I think I spoke a bit too soon, and I found myself as the chair of the Environment Committee, the DRC, the District Rotaract Chair. I sit on the International Committee, and I was also elected onto the Club Council as well. So straight away, I had a very, very busy life ahead of me in my life as a Winchester Rotarian. One of the interesting decisions we were able to pass on the council was that Rotaractors can now serve on the Rotary committees within our Winchester Club, which is something that we've been experimenting with and will hopefully help with the transition of getting Rotaractors into Rotary clubs. We have run some environmental projects in Winchester through the district and through the Rotary and Rotaract Clubs. This year, I was elected to be the co-chair of the RI Rotaract Committee. So working with a really great group of young people, we make up the International Rotaract Committee, where we've been able to talk about policy, legislation, plan the pre-convention for the RI conference, as well as just learning more and more about Rotaract worldwide. We're currently talking about the Rotaract Outstanding Project, which is a fantastic initiative, basically trying to choose some of the best Rotaract projects around the world, which, as you can imagine, is no easy task. So that's it for my presentation. Obviously, thank you so much for listening, but above all, thank you so much for all of your support. Even if you haven't met me through being a Rotarian and being involved in Rotary, you are indirectly responsible for very much all of that story that I've just told you. But as I said at the start, the intentions of this talk aren't to just grow a giant head and say, look at all these places I've been, but instead to say, look at what happened as a result of one particular club, Winchester Rotary, just really, really going above and beyond in welcoming young people into that club from the start, and not just welcoming us in and patting us on the head and saying the generic line of, you brought our average age down, or just giving us a job like moving chairs and tables before a meeting starts, but actually bringing us in at an equal level, letting us come to their dinners, come to their meetings, join their committees, and work alongside them. And it's through doing that there was no question about it, that obviously I would want to join that Rotary Club once I was ready, and hopefully set a precedent for Rotaractors in Winchester to also follow after me as well. So thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in finding out anything more, from the MUNs to Peace Jam to the Rotaract work that we're doing, please just get in touch. You can find my email, or you can contact Winchester Rotary Club, and you can contact me through there, or find me on Facebook or something. So thanks so much for listening. Take care, and looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you.